Hey everybody, it's Christine, and today I'm going to share some boy layouts with you, but I'm also going to specifically focus on the fact that none of these collections are strictly for boys. These are collections that were made for either or, and so I wanted to share with you how I can, and how you too can, take a collection and make it work for a boy layout. So I'm going to start things off with this one. This is a Bella Boulevard collection. It's called Splash Zone. It is pretty new, and obviously I focused in on certain colors, the blues, the yellows, the oranges. Had I switched the yellows out for some pinks or purples, or even just added pinks and purples into this, it would have taken on a much more feminine feel, but because of the color choice, I made it work for a masculine feel. Rainbows are really popular in scrapbooking right now, as well as in my world. I love them. So this is a great example of taking a collection that was very neutral between the two, but I made it into a boy layout. The only way I really brought in some masculine feeling to it is with some added colors here. Had I chosen to go with some more pinks, it would have had a different feel to it, but I went with some blues for my extras here, and as well as my letters, and that helps to give it that strong masculine feel. Next up, I have a puppy layout, and this one is, again, not a collection specifically meant for boys, but I did make it for a boy layout. So this is my teenage son, and I just pulled in the colors from his shirt as well as from some of the dog's fur to make this collection go to that strong male feel. This winter collection, also using my teenage son as the model here. This one is, again, not at all geared towards guys or girls, although I would say the colors in this one definitely trend towards a more solid masculine feel. Certainly it doesn't have to be, though. And you can see how I worked those colors to tie in nicely with his dark warm coat. Next up, I've got a paper house layout, and this is using their Stargazer collection. Well, the Stargazer collection is pretty much all purples and blues. I just ignored the colors, okay? I just brought in elements that had more masculine feel. So the stars versus hearts or flowers, and just created my design with that. I also brought in gold foil, so it's not only purple, but it's sparkly. But again, I think it still has a good, strong masculine feel to it, despite the colors. So just, reminding you, don't feel like you are limited just because of the colors of a collection. This next one is a perfect example of that. So the Horizon collection from Pink Paisley has a lot of pinks and purples and flowers and hearts and all those beautiful things that make a gorgeous girl layout. As I sat down and looked at it, I knew I wanted to take on the challenge of making a boy layout. So what I did is I cut out the pinks, the greens, or I'm sorry, the pinks, the purples, the yellows, the oranges, the reds. I cut all of those out of this paper and just left the blues and greens. And then I pulled out all my embellishments in blues and greens, and I added a little strip down here. This one screams little boy having fun throwing rocks, okay? So again, just look at it, say, is there some way that I can make this collection that I really like work for a boy layout? And sometimes you'll find you can't, but I think a lot of times you will find that you will if you just dig into that creative side of your brain. This one is one where I used a whole bunch of different papers from Bella Boulevard to tell the story of my son with his love of popsicles. So you can see the rainbows going on again, and then just strong letters here with the Mr. But this is, all rainbow, and a mix and match of several collections. Now, this one I might have to stand corrected. This one might actually be an all-boy collection. However, let's just look at it for a minute. It certainly doesn't have to be. Yes, these circles do have lots of boy things in it, but I would be surprised if there weren't a bunch of girl layouts out there with this one as well. And this is one from Simple Stories from last year. But you can see, again, that rainbow thing I've got going on. Still a great way to incorporate a lot of colors. You don't have to just do blue or just do green or yellow or orange. You can bring that red in. You can bring those pinks in moderate amounts and still keep that strong boy feel to it. And another rainbow. This one is from the Doodlebug collection. It is So Much Pun is what it's called. And you can see it's got adorable embellishments, and those definitely will work either way by bringing in my rainbow, but leaving off having too much pink or any of that. I was able to, again, just create a strong little boy layout. Finally, I've got one that really you can see it could go either way, okay? This one, the heart, the hearts, the embellishments in general, this could totally have my daughter's picture in here and still work just as well. And I love it when you can do that with a layout too. So don't feel like you can't just go straight in the middle of the road and have both a good boy and a good girl layout and put the boy on there. That can totally work, just depending on your style. So there you have it, 10 new boy scrapbook layouts featuring mostly collections that are not designed necessarily for just one or the other, and lots of multi-photo layouts as well for you to check out. I will link you up to videos down below where these are featured. And that is it. So thank you so much for joining me today, and we will see you again next time.